Not the face, methinks, shall launch 1,000 hearts. The inscription is by Ben Jonson. His sooth, dear friends, all my sweetest thanks. Ben did tell me in Elysium of his charge in this, and that he cut my plays. Small Latin and less Greek indeed. This drinks deep, drinks cup and all. The Tempest first.
Prithee, then, canst thou read the title page for all together? I do count you a witness.
William Shakespeare's comedies, histories, and tragedies.
Well, not de vers de Vicens. Published according to the true original copies, not Sir Francis Bacon's Crisps.
And soggy prose.
Printed by Isaac Jaggard and Edward Blount, 1622. Not the ghostly incantations of a resurrected Marlowe. Who then wrote the plays? Prithee, sir, tell us thy surname. Master Chan. Very well, I shall aspire for the progenerative power. Let us then say Master Chan have 1, 2, 3, 4 children nourished in the womb of their mother. Sire, honestly, so the mother tells us. Oh, who will grudge your mistress Mary Chan her name? Try to force on her another name. Rob her of inheritance. Rob her father of his progeny. Not only on this I fail. Old Master Shakespeare have some 40 children. Saying not many little songs and sonnets, sorry, man. 40 children have his name upon engendered in the womb of Pia Mater. Mothered by the muse. What says the muse's mouthpiece? Friendly rival Johnson. Shakespeare. Midwife by some 80 players and spitters, was it midwives, Henning, Crumble, Jagger, Blount. Shakespeare. But there be some cost. Metal. Nay, say they are very, very twisted. Let us rub out our eyes and ears and find inventions to deny a lad of Warwickshire with none of university learning, nay, nor Norman blood, could ever sire such progeny. Give him another name. Give him another father. Fine, God's teeth. I will claim mine own as mine, or I will tell ye they were written by an infinite number of monkeys with an infinite number of quills.
And so I dreamed. And then a dreaming dreamt. What if? What if? What if? My gentle Puck, come hither. Thou rememberest, since once I sat upon a promontory and heard a mermaid on a dolphin's back uttering such dulcet and harmonious breath that the rude sea grew civil at her song, and certain stars shot madly from their spheres to hear the sea maid's music. I remember that very time I saw, but thou couldst not, flying between the cold moon and the earth, Cupid, all armed. A certain aim he took at a fair vestal throned by the waist, and loosed his love shaft smartly from his bow, as it should pierce 100,000 hearts. But I might see young Cupid's fiery shaft quenched at the chaste beams of the watery moon, and the imperial votaress passed on in maiden meditation, fancy free. Yet marked I where the bolt of Cupid fell. It fell upon a little western flower before milk white, now purple with love's wound, and maidens call it love in idleness. Fetch me that flower, The herb I showed thee once, the juice of it on sleeping eyelids laid, will make or man or woman madly dote upon the next live creature that it sees. Aye, fetch me this herb, and be thou here again, ere the Leviathan can swim a league. I'll put a girdle round about the earth in 40 minutes. Master Shakespeare, pray tell, lad, art thou in fairyland? I'll ask a final time, look you, what dost thou? Conjugating, Master Jenkins. Conjugating?
Here were, look, 1,000 dark spectacles, doubtless to prove the biblical assertion that we look at life as to a glass darkly. A religious people too. Know the Bible, sir? It is the Gospel of John, book of Apocalypse. We all know that, don't we? Recall you not that it tell of a terrible power of destruction sent upon the world, of riots and bloodshed, of countless peoples turned out of home and livelihood and left to eke survival in the streets like animals or perish, of unending fires that to scorch the earth, ungild the noonday sun, turns lead to the sky with sooty black, of volcanoes and volcanoes, the flood all mastering his bounds, the shaking of the very earth. Why, these are signs, are they not, of the ending of the world? Friends, look to it. And consider this. As we did approach the year of 1600, the sayers of doom did prophesy the self-same thing.
And so it was, in such a way, on such a day, in hay-making time on the fields of delight, that Will and Anne did ply their wantons there. She got with child, he got with wife, and thereby hangs a tale.
Oh, she was a comely lass with burnished hair, some years elder than myself, but eager to flee as I am her. In very fact, she'd a hawk, I was her. And though we were untutored in the sport of dalliance, still did the world turn upon itself that sultry summer day, and burst into 1,000 constellations, revealing a new and dreadful power. I could have sworn she loved our loving well as I or anyone, but she has got too much the Puritan fear of pleasure to admit to it some 1 or 2 years later. We were both pulled by the force of life and used not a farthing's worth of wit in deliberation. Well, whether we will or no, yet do we know this: winged Cupid still is painted blind. Champions to blind against each other. The arrow breaks his spear against the giant shield. Giant sword. With a single mighty blow. Turned against our hero, but now it was the foot all afternoon. Now one side gaining the advantage, now the other, until eventually the hero did rid the giant of his monstrous club by lopping off his arms. But still they fought into the night, till at last the giant grew faint from loss of blood, and with a single mighty blow, the Earl of Warwick cut off the head of Pearson Colbrand. Winchester and all England were saved from the days.
One summer, when life was become particularly unbearable, Sir Thomas Lucy none too pleased with me for a satirical song which I did write and some few other things, I presented the players with 2 plays, The Comedy of Errors, the play I'd earlier worked in tutorship, and War Hath Made All Friends, story of Canute and Edmund Ironside, son of Ethelred the Unready, by Will the Unripe. They told me they had plays aplenty for the tour. Could I be a player? They told me I was too old to be a boy player, too young and inexperienced to play great men. Could I juggle? Could I sing, dance, fence, play 2 or more instruments of music? They told me of the hard life of apprenticeship and how I must needs clean the stage and stable, of the hardships of the road especially. Now the troupe did seemingly tour perpetual, exiled from London by the plague. Still, 'twas all because they saw some promise in the plays, or that they were short of men, or mayhap that our stars were in conjunction, or all of these, or none, that I was offered to make one in their employ and be a player. That would ascend the brightest heaven of invention, a kingdom for the stage, princes to act, and monarchs to behold the swelling scene. Then should the warlike Harry, like himself, assume the port of Mars, and at his heels, leashed in like helms, should fend it sword and fire, crouch for employment.
Profound gentles all the flat, unraised spirits, that have dared on this unworthy scaffold to bring forth so great an object. Can this cockpit hold the vasty fields of France? Or may we crown within this wooden ode the very casks that it affright the air and as it go home high, since a crooked figure may attest in little place 1,000,000. And let us ciphers to this great account on your imaginary forces were.
Suppose within the girdle of these walls are now confined 2 mighty monarchies whose high upreared and abutting fronts the perilous narrow ocean parts asunder. Piece out our imperfections with your thoughts into 1,000 parts, divide one man and make imaginary puissance. Think, when we talk of horses, that you see them printing their proud hoofs in the receiving earth. For 'tis your thoughts that now must deck our kings, carry them here and there, jumping o'er times, turning the accomplishment of many years into an hourglass. For the which supply admit me, chorus to this history, who prologued like your humble patience pray, gently to hear, kindly to judge our play.
Our revels now are ended. These our actors, as I foretold you, are old spirits, and are melted into air, into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the crown-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yea, all which it inherit, shall dissolve. And like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made of, and our little life is rounded with the sleep. I do wish acceptance and forgiveness for the Lord. I pray you, plant a mulberry seed for me.